Hey game makers, how's it going out there? How we doing tonight? All right. Oh, I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. You know, looking forward to this week. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. I'm a very happy camper. We'll see how that, reflects on where I'm going tonight. All right. Let's get in here. First things first. Let's talk about what happened with last session. So last session was it kind of ended on a sour note. We were trying to integrate Google and Facebook OAuth authentication with Passport.js, and we kind of ran into a little bit of a blocker, and it had to do with we were opening the window and we were signing in and it was successful and it was calling back to the server, but there was no way I was having a tough time resending that back down to the window that was open to close the window and then pass that information back along to the client. In fact, I got really stuck with it. It's not, you have to understand, these OAuth authentication strategies were made for pure browser experiences. Right now we're using something called Node-WebKit, which is technically a Chrome browser, but it's not a Chrome browser. So there's things that I can do and things that I can't do. I haven't tried everything, but I've tried a lot of things, and I'm trying to do it in a way that's efficient. I could really hack my way around this and do some really weird stuff, but I don't want to hack. I want something that's stable, that's secure, that'll work with everyone's passport, any type of authentication. It'll just work. So I'm thinking of coming back to this at a different time, and what I'm thinking of doing is integrating sockets to authentic. So right now the way that it works is sockets authenticate after you log in. What I'm thinking of doing is having sockets not authenticate but connect right as soon as you connect to the server, so that way we can use sockets to communicate back and forth, which would make life tremendously easier, and that way we can keep the authentication layer completely separate of the socket IO and the API level. I'll go into that a little bit later on how I'm going to achieve all that, but I think for now what we should probably do is just log that we're gonna get to it, but that we're blocked right now. So let's just do that, because it's we got new things that came in. We'll go into that. Social login like Facebook and Google. So let me add a label. Can we edit labels? Yeah, we can add a new label. Blocked. Okay, let's pick a color. Crap. Let's go pink. That's fine by me. Okay, blocked. Spelling issue correctly helps. Issue is currently blocked. All right, so we'll create that label. We'll come back here. We should be able to now add this label. Okay, and I will update this. I'm gonna have to rewrite how login system works. Currently, get it working. Passport OAuth strategies. And once again, if anyone knows of a way to do this efficiently and effectively, let me know, because this is something that I think is important, that I think that a lot of people could use, and it would be very beneficial to the community in general. So I don't want to block this for too long, but I also want to move on and not get stuck for week after week after week after trying to get this done. I think there's more pressing issues that need to be relegated, and we need to kind of move along. I don't want to get stuck just on this. If this was a security issue, a pure security issue, I'd be on this. We'd be doing it week in, week out. But because this is more of a feature and not an absolute necessity, I'm going to put it on the block list, and we're going to get to it a little bit later. Okay, so I am going to comment. Cool. All right, let's look at some of these issues for a couple seconds. All right, hold on. What are you guys throwing at me? Can I ask if Project Fireball servers are still up? Project Fireball servers should be still up. Let me get back to you on that, because I don't know. I haven't checked them in a while. So I will come back to that. I cannot check it on stream because I don't want to show you where they are. So we'll get to that another time. I'll check it after the stream. All right, Rainbow. I'll check it after the stream. Okay, with that said, let's get back into this. So cloud save bug. What do we got? After I saved the game, I quit the game. Then I added a treasure event, then deployed the game, all files, so restarted the server, logged in, the treasure box didn't show on map. Oh, cool. I love when things are saved for themselves. So just so we can recap what's going on here. If you add an event after you save, it's kind of like saving in RPG Maker and then you add events to the map. Sometimes they don't show up. So similar scenario, you got to have the information there in order for it to be in the save file. Pretty simple and self-explanatory. So thank you, Sobi92. Excellent assist. Cool. Cool. Constantly autosave games. I am using parallel script to save game every 5 seconds. It works great. However, there is 1 second lag or freezing whenever game is saving. I'm wondering if it's possible to let the saving process run in the background or a way so player would have to be logging or freezing while constantly autosaving every 5 seconds. So I think this has to do with how the game is run. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at this. All right, so first things first. Yeah, this proc file. So I've been messing around with Heroku and getting Heroku to work, and it actually does work pretty well, but we'll do that on another session. For right now, let's close out. You want to know what? Let's close out a bunch of these. Okay, so we got the server. What are we doing again? We are parallel script every 5 seconds. Okay, so let's do autosave. So cloud save. Online cloud save. A little bit different version. Store manager.save. Yeah, I think it has to do with the save file. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this. No. I want store manager.prototype.save. No. Hold on. Prototype. Oh, no. That's right. It's not part of the prototype. It's this. Save equals function. There we go. Local mode. Save local to file. Huh. Interesting. So in the save local to local file on the storage manager, it's using a file. It's doing it synchronously. I'm sure there's a reason why they are doing this, because you can do things. So let's step back a bit. Okay. For those of you who don't know, JavaScript by default is something called asynchronous. If you've never heard that before, I'm going to go really quickly. You don't have to understand it fully. Asynchronous just means that code runs asynchronously. It can run on multiple channels all at the same time. That's why we have a thing called callbacks. But what we're doing right here is we're checking if the file exists synchronously, so it stops your game as it's checking, because Node only runs on one process at a time, or one thread at a time. So it's single threaded, which means that it can only execute one thing at a time. So it just takes time to go through each one. So yeah, it's saying it exists, it's adding the directory synchronously, and it's writing the file synchronously. I mean, technically you could turn this to async. The only issue that I would have with this I could see a scenario where you're changing the data on the map as you're saving, and it could cause weird issues. This is one of those where I think a lot of testing is needed. I'm sure they had a reason to do this. I mean, you might be able to ask Archaea, is it Archaea? Archaea, she's one of the developers on the project. You might be able to ask her why they did it synchronously as opposed to asynchronously. They might actually have tested this, and there might be a legit reason why they want to do this. But technically, you can. So that's all the time I am going to spend on that. So, GMaker does this synchronously. That is butchered. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Google. RPG does it synchronously by default. Look at closing comment. That's not something I'm going to work on, but I think I've answered the question that it can be done. I just won't put my money on it actually working. So, but it can be done. All right, back to the issues. That was all the issues that I had here. All right, so let's dive into what we are doing tonight. Let's open up a doc. Open up a doc. Let's call this session 4. Notes. Okay, and tonight we are going to be focusing on, really quick guys, can I get everybody hear me check? Make sure I'm coming through. You can hear me, we're good. Okay, while I'm doing that, I'm going to continue on with my notes. So the biggest thing that we want to work on tonight is, how do I want to put this? We want to put Socket.io on multiple servers. Okay, so that is the game plan tonight. There's a few things that have to happen from this. I have no idea what that means. Okay, all right. All right, so everyone can hear me. We are going to be putting Socket.io on multiple servers. This is going to require a little bit of research, a little bit of implementation. I did this a long time ago, so we're going to kind of go through it again. We're going to see what works, what doesn't work. We're going to try to troubleshoot tonight. I hope to get through all of this tonight. The reality is I might have to get through most of it. I also want to just explain some of the concepts behind this and why we're doing this and kind of the benefits of this. This is a huge part. This is something that if it takes multiple weeks, we are going to take multiple weeks on this. This is important. So, why? Okay. To explain why, does Google have a drawing thing? Hold on. Google Draw. No, not Quick Draw. Drawings. Yeah. All right. To explain how this works, let's see if I can just create a couple shapes. Right. Right. Node.js runs on your computer on one thread at a time. So thread 1. Okay. So can I copy? Perfect. I just fix this. All right, so I put this to 2, put this to 3, and put this to 4. All right, this is perfect. This will get the job done. All right, so let's say you have a quad-core computer, okay? Node.js only works on one core at a time. Technically, cores can have multiple threads in them, but long story short, let's say you have 4 threads on your, or 4 cores on your computer, okay? Node.js can only run on one at a time. It is single-threaded, okay? It's great because it's asynchronous and it runs really fast and it's fantastic. The problem is, for Socket.io, there's a huge problem with this. Essentially, when you connect to... Let's talk about a regular API first, because I think this might put it into context. When you work with a regular API, you're interfacing with a layer that then goes to the database. So there's like a central structure here. Here, let me, okay, put this here, right? This would be the database. Yeah, there we go. So you got your node threads, and with the API calls, you say I want to log in, right? And the login, forgive me, I've never used this before, so you're gonna have to give me a chance on this, right? So we have all these connected to the database, and it's looking for login and everything like that. So you can have multiple threads. API points to this database, and we're all good to go. The problem with Socket.io is that there's a concept of rooms and namespaces. So we're using rooms and namespaces for things like chat, for things like online network players. We're using the namespaces for the different plugins, if you will, for the Socket.io. So different Socket modules use different namespaces. So we connect to chat, we connect to net players, we connect to, if we were doing a PvP paddling, we connect to all these different namespaces. And then within those namespaces are rooms. Now, these namespaces in these rooms are normally stored on individual threads. So on this thread, the room and namespaces are stored. Okay, same thing with this thread has it. So now you're looking at it and you're going, well, how do I communicate this one to this one? I don't have a database that just syncs up properly with this. Well, this is where, and here, let me make this bigger. I can make this bigger. This is where Redis comes into play. So if anyone's familiar with Redis, it is a very low level database, if you will, key value store pair. It's similar to Memcache. It is really cool, and Socket.io plays really nice with this, and they have like an internal adapter that works really well with this. So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to integrate Redis with our main Socket.io thread, and we're going to be testing it locally using clustering. So clustering is just a way to take your app, and instead of running it just like on where you're running like a node server.js command, you're running multiple node server JS commands along multiple processors, if that makes sense. I'll show you. There's a couple cool tools that I haven't shown before that we'll use today. All right, so coffee's important. All right, so let us begin with documentation on Socket.io's website. Socket.io. Been a little while since I've been here. Documentation. And I know they have using multiple nodes. So we're going to get into a lot of subjects here. I'm going to gloss over a lot of this because I don't want to bore the living hell out of you. But we're going to talk about things like sticky load balancing. And this is, if multiple IP addresses are coming in, you need to route it to the problem is multiple requests will be coming in over time, and you need to go to, in our example before, we had 4 different nodes. You need to tell that particular client, I want you on node 1, or player A, I want you on node 1, player B, I want you on node 2, player C, I want you on node 3. And in order to do that, you need to route it based off something. So what sticky session does is it says, okay, I know your IP address, and I'm going to assign you to thread 1. And it always sends you to thread 1 every single time. Okay, that's essentially what sticky load balancing does. We aren't going to deal with Nginx configuration. We're not going to deal with Apache configuration. We are going to do, or HA proxy, we're going to use node cluster. And we are going to probably use sticky session. Yeah. Built-in clustering through cluster, passing events between mode. Okay. Socket IO adapter. All right, and this is what I was talking about. The interface in charge of routing messages is what we call the adapter. So the adapter is kind of like where all the rooms and the namespaces and everything else runs off of. So you can provide it on top of socketio.redis, and is this the actual? Yeah. Okay. So this should be as simple as installing and putting it in. Let's try it out. Only one way to find out, ladies and gents. All right, before we get too far in this, IO here, IO there. Socket IO 3000 is already there. We don't need to do that. We do need this. Let me just make sure we don't have an adapter here anywhere else. Okay. All right, so we need to install Socket IO Redis. This is important. Where am I here? Let's go into the server. Let's install this and let's save it. Okay. The other thing that we need is Redis installed locally. Now, I happen to have Redis installed locally. You might not have Redis installed locally. Once again, this branch isn't public right this second, so we're just building this on the side. But actually, this is actually something I want to make public pretty soon. So I'm thinking of making it a separate repository for right this second instead of a separate branch where people can mess with things. I'm thinking of just keeping it clean and keeping it in a separate branch for right now, and then I'm gonna close it and merge it into the other one when the time comes for a 1.00 release, because there's a lot of little things that I changed that I don't want people to get I don't want people to use and then all of a sudden everything's not working. Let's just keep this a little bit separate and clean if anyone wants to, piggyback off of this and see what's going on. Okay. Redis adapter, that. What else do we need? Is that it? I think that's it. But accepting connections to yeah, I think that'll work, but we still need to do okay, yeah. Just like Nginx, Node.js comes with a built-in cluster module. Fedora in .NET has created a module called Sticky Session that serves file descriptors are routed based on the remote address. It might lead to unbalanced routing depending on the hashing method. All right, I think we also need Sticky Session. I think this is important. All right, let's before we install this, let's see if this actually runs. So if we all right, second tool that I haven't shown anyone yet. Next on the list is PM2. Okay, PM2 is kind of like an alternative to Forever.js. It allows you to it essentially works like Forever.js, where it Yeah, let me just show you. Pretty much it runs your app consistently. It gives you logs. It can run multiple processes at the same time, and it can also use multiple clusters at the same time. So with that, let me show you what I'm talking about here. M2 node cluster. Is it cluster mode? Cluster mode. Yeah, there we go. What's this? Yeah, -I. Okay, so let's just start it here. I already have it installed. Once again, refer to the documentation on how to install it. It's just a global or a global dev install. You can figure it out on that end. Okay, so pm2 start, and we want to start the server, and we want to start it. Let's do it with 3. So it is in cluster mode. And it's running, so if I do pm2 list, I can see what's going on. It gives you some nice information on how many times it's restarted, the uptime, what's going on with it. You can do pm2 logs, which gives you real-time logs of what's going on, and something is going on here. EAL is... Oh, that must have been from before. Now, what is this? Okay, yeah, these are my 3 that I just ran. So it does persist logs for a while, so that's another thing that's pretty cool. What else do we got here? pm2 list, pm2 logs. I think there's pm2 status? No. There's a really cool pm2 one. This is what I want. PM2 minute, so you can monitor. And you can do really cool things like this. So you get global logs, you get how much CPU is coming out of it, the memory, that kind of thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. So PM2 is a wonderful little service. We're going to be using it specifically to do clustering. It just makes life easier. It's a quick command, and we can cluster everything, and it's good to go. So that's why we're using it. So now that that's running and it works, we should probably try to start this up and run it. And I just realized that this is still connected to Heroku. My washing machine is yelling at me, so I'm sorry in advance. Not core engine. Where are we here? Main core. Yeah. So as you can see, I am connected to Heroku just fine from before. Just to show you that it does work. We'll sign in real quick just to show you that it does work, because I like to brag sometimes when things actually work. The only thing I will say is that I'm on a development version, so it is going to take a little bit longer. Because it actually goes to sleep after 15 minutes of inactivity. So it does wake up and it does work just fine after the first time. So something cool to keep in mind. So now let's come back here. Now that I've wandered off the trail a little bit, let's change this back. Local host port 8000. Okay, apply. Okay, let's make sure everything is up and running, because I would hate to be doing this multiple times for no reason. Perfect. And if we look at the logs, cool. See, here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So if you notice, as we're looking at these logs, okay, something weird is going on in Funky Town over here. Okay, you see like it's connected a bunch of players and then disconnected, and then it's connecting over here and there. This is why you need sticky sessions. This is what happens because you're making, when you establish a Socket.io connection, you're making technically like 3 or 4 connections. And if you don't know to go to one specific node every single time, it's gonna just bounce you around and kind of go between the different processes. So this is why it is extraordinarily important that we do this. Okay. Yeah, so let's come out of here. All right, I just wanted to make sure it was connecting to Redis just fine. Um, Actually, let me log into the game real quick. Let me just make sure that let me make sure that nothing's... Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure nothing was busting on me. Okay. Let's come out of here. Okay, and let's... Alright, let's add sticky session. So this is where it's going to get fun. So cluster allows you to handle multiple clusters that work together at the same time. So we need sticky session. Server. All right, we don't need this unless we want the worker ID, which we don't need, I think. So if we don't need to create the server like this. Why do we need to do that? That's just saying when it ends. All right, I'm just gonna copy everything. And we'll take what we need and get rid of what we don't. I don't think we need this. Server listening. Oh, no, we do need this. Okay, hold on. Sticky. Fire HTTP. Where am I listening here? All right, so I'm listening down here. All right, so let's put this here. Let's do that. All right. Put this over to 8,000. Server, the create server, but we have server up here, which is actually creating the HTTP server. This should work. Now with this worker code is where we put all of the rest of our code. So if we get rid of that, we throw it down here, that should work. And then we just need to remember to install sticky session. Very important. I have to install clusters. I'm pretty sure cluster is a built-in thing. We're gonna find out. All right. Okay. Let's do PM2 restart all. PM2 logs. That's a decent sign. All right, so let's reset this. There's got to be a way to clear the logs because it's gonna mess with me. Hold on. PM2 clear logs. PM2 flush. Cool. Nice. All right, so if we sign in. What? What? right, the ports are running. Connect. Well. So it's running this code. It's most certainly running this code. Huh. Why wouldn't you be working? Really quick, let me... No, that shouldn't be doing anything. That should work. Hmm. Login/login, connection refused. Why? Let me just test something out, guys. I am trying to test out if I can... Oh, wait. I'll go to say 1,000 example. Unable to establish a connection at server localhost 8000. It does not like this. Why does it not like this? 1, 2, 3. Server.listen, but instead we're doing sticky.listen. Something's up. I'm gonna figure this out, gents and ladies. Yeah, I'm still getting connection refused errors. Trying to post. Unable to connect. Why? All right. All right, let's get rid of clustering. So let's delete everything. All right, and let's just do a node mon. If we try to connect now, it works. Okay, so it's definitely the clustering. Okay. I'm willing to play a game. I'm willing to play ball. Let's see if we can... I have a feeling it's something like this. What if we do this? Oh, oh, oh. I just want to make sure everything works properly. Okay, that works properly. So now, let's delete what's there. Let's do PM2 start server.js, and then let's do 4 workers. Okay, let's reset this. And nada. Might have to look at some examples. Yeah, because it's going to all 4. That's weird. That's very weird. Shouldn't be doing that. Maybe it's because I'm not doing the cluster within here. I think it might be because I'm using PM2. Alright, let's see if we can get some better examples on here. Here, okay. Cluster. Sticky cluster. Hey, no. Up to 10 times faster than sticky session. What? This is really weird. Wow. That's super weird. Oh, that's... Yeah, no, we're not touching that. No, we're not touching that either. Alright, so what is going on here? Yeah, I figure somebody has to have this. I'm missing something. Let's see what we got. Cluster is not needed? What do you mean, Gene? Cluster is most certainly needed. Oh, you mean the var cluster? What are you talking about? If we just do the node mon, it's only going to start one process. Won't it? Oh, are you serious? Oh, it just automatically does it. Alright. Alright, hold on. Is that true? Son of a bitch. So apparently sticky session automatically listens to everything. You wanna know what? I bet if we go to sticky session. Hold on. We can probably look in this real quick. Sticky. Worker count. I guarantee you this worker count works. Yeah, hold on. Sticky API. Option.workers. Son of a bitch. Okay, there's got to be a way to pass in listen server port options. Son of a bitch. All right, so we got server port. And if we put in options, we put worker, was it workers? Workers, yes, workers. Let's put it to 3. Oh, oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, no, because I didn't see. Yeah, whoops. My bad. My bad. All right, so we can give workers here, or you can allow it to just do as many workers as you want. I'm just gonna put it to 3 just so it's not messing with the stream by filtering up all the workers. So forget what I said about PM2 and max clustering, because there is absolutely no need to do it. There's got to be a reason why they have clustering. I thought that's what you needed to do for this with clustering, but I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit that I was wrong on this. Okay, so we got sticky sessions, we got Redis. So now I should be able to connect. Yes. Perfect. All right. That is it? Really? Now we need to test. How are we going to test? What's the best way to test? Let's all right, give me a second here. Let's try to let's try. You want to, let's add net player to this equation. Give me, ladies and gents. I'm trying to figure out how to add it just as much as you are. All right, so always read the readmes if you don't know where you are. We're gonna add net player. I just realized I might have to fix this, but and cool. Yeah, I figured. And this is where it's gonna get really weird. Okie dokie. What did I fix last time? There was something I fixed last time with this. I'm trying to remember. Did I fix example socket? No. Global var. It was chat? Yeah, it was chat. Where jar config log auth. That's right. And I had to bring it in. So I have to bring in auth. Use this. Username. Okay, so token was socket.user. Very important. Socket.user. User is still token.name. It should be. Yep. Okay. So this should work. Ooh, we're gonna find out. Here, let's reconnect. All right. So if my calculations are correct, I should be able to open. If I can find where I am. This is another thing that we need to put on the list of things to do. Crap. All right, I just saw another blocker. Forgive me, guys. Give me a second here. What I'm going to do right now is something called Python has a simple HTTP server for the file. I do have one on my Node instance, but I don't feel like setting that up. So there's a simple server Python. I think it's Python 2 technically. I believe, what is it? There we are. I'm not going to put it on port 8000, but actually, I think you can just do this and it'll just work. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, terminal. You can't see my terminal, but that's okay. I'll put it on screen in a second. Need my project 6. Okay. Into my project 6. And then right here, I am just going to do this. And I do have to specify a port. Would you look at that? We will specify 3000. Cool. So what that allows me to do is now I can open up something like Firefox and go to localhost 3000 and I get this. So now we can just open up multiple tabs and at least test a little. Should have this disconnected. And it is not playing nice with me. Why is it not playing nice with me? As opposed to the login. Okay. Okay. Oh man, my computer is crawling. Why you no work? The worst is when it actually succeeds and it's still not working. That's impressive. That is impressive. We're gonna take away everything. Just try doing one. Post the login. Why aren't you working? Okay. Try this on Safari. It might be something with NetPlayer that's kind of broken. Not making much sense. What the hell is going on here? My goodness. Super, super weird. not working for me. I love when things don't work. Makes my life tremendously easier. And really quick, what happens if I come out of here and then connect through here? Localhost 8000. What's killing me is that it's successful. And just so you see what I'm seeing, just kind of spinning away. Just make sure I don't have like PM2 running. that would do it. Goes in, but you don't log me in. Weird. Super weird. But in here I can get in just fine, can't I? Can I get in just fine here? Because if I can get in just fine here, then I'm really stumped. Oh, goodness gracious. What is going on here? Call shenanigans. Could I be serving the wrong content? Let me think about this. Hold on a second. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this right now because we gotta figure this out and why it's not working, or we're not gonna get very far. Not the issue. Game open folder. Documents. Killing me, Smalls. You killing me. Make me look bad. Let's put this to 8001. What? And what's killing me is that it is connecting. Right? Because if I come out here, I come back in here. Right? Connect. Telling me login. I've never had this happen before. This has got to be something going on with the clustering. Is it possible? Yeah. No, I know it's on port 8000, but I'm running a simple HTTP server to run the index.html file. Maybe it's a cross-origin thing? Hold on. I just realized that. God. Please tell me it's not that. I would be upset at Son of a bitch. Alright. Well, at least this, I know where I can find it. No. No. There was a simple thing that I did. Everything. I need to figure this out. I really need to figure this out. There we go. No, that is not where I want to put it. Oh, man. Getting my butt kicked tonight, gents and ladies. Getting my butt kicked. Oh. Now, I should be able to do this. Oh. Well, that, chat, is how you waste a ton of your time. That right there is how to waste time. All right, so just in case anyone was wondering, that is how you waste time. All right, so let's open only a couple of windows here. I don't want to open too many windows because my computer is already lagging like whoa on my end. All right. So I should be able to do this and this and this of this, and it's all there. Cool. All right, yeah, 2 players, there's 4 players connected. Cool. So everything looks like it's actually running straight out of the box, which is actually kind of a nice thing. I mean, really, if you think about it. So we have rooms working, we have everyone's connected to one thing. And these should be on different workers. How do I test if they're on different workers? This cluster module, because only required if you want the worker ID. Pretty much I'm assuming that these are running on 3 different ports. Sticky Sessions is putting them, routing them based off IP, and then yeah, Redis is dealing with the rooms because I'm already using it as an adapter. Wow, that was actually much quicker than I thought we would get for this. This was actually pretty decently quick for a basic yeah, really quick. Oh, right. It makes a master worker and then it makes a bunch of little workers. That's right. Cool. Yeah, server started on 8,000 port. Okay, so it makes one master and then multiple workers. That makes sense because it starts the server once and then the rest of the worker codes. All right, yep. Clustering is starting to come back to me, ladies and gents. It's starting to come back. Oh, all right. I was not expecting to be done that quickly on this level. So now let's go back to our drawing. Let's figure out what else we need to worry about with this, this thing. So we have sticky sessions enabled. We have workers enabled. there anything else that we need to worry about? I mean, obviously we should test a little bit more, but I'm actually kind of surprised that this is working well. Let's go back to socket.io. Where are we? Socket.io. Passing events between nodes. Adapter. Yep, sticky session is still needed when using the Redis adapter. Okay. Okay. Success. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. You want to know? We're done so early. Let's clean up the code, commit it. Maybe even start like a development branch. Maybe start pushing stuff over. I mean, I'm down with just doing that. Let's, you know, we got the time. Let's get it done. All right, so let's clean this up really quick. So let's grab all this. Because this is ugly. Bump it over a couple. Let's bump it back one. This down here. Yeah. That's good. What else did we want to do? All right, so we're going to take this off because I'm going to be committing this, so I don't want net player or anything else just on there by default, which is actually something I'm thinking of changing. I don't know what you guys think. I'm thinking of including everything and then having it in the configs, whether it's enabled or disabled, and then doing it that way. That way people don't have to mess with the server. They just mess with the configs. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let me know. But you know, now that we're at this point, we can start thinking about little stuff like that. Something I was thinking about. All right, login DB connection. This looks good. Are we using this anywhere? Oh yeah, you know, we're just calling it. We're just calling it. Okay, that's fair. So why do we even need to put this to a var? Nope. Nope, we don't. Let me just double check by relogging in. Because it's the database connection. No, we don't. Alright, so if that's the case, let's just put this at the top. We don't need that. We don't need that. Put it right up. Yeah. So just call it. Database connection. Yep. It's nice and separated and we can kind of see it. Redis adapter. I think this is perfectly fine. This I'm going to have to put into a config file. I'm just going to check something real quick and I'm going to do it off screen because I don't know if my config file has anything sensitive in it, folks. So just give me 2 seconds just to check the config file. Configurations, config. Make sure I don't have anything super important in here. Oh, I have it all in environmental variables. Okay. So the way that I have this config is I've been using process environment variables, which are going to be really handy in the future. Okay, so we can do something like that's login configuration. This is the main configuration. So definitely in the main configuration, we'll do Redis. And what do we need with Redis? We need post import. And we come back in here. You want to, let's call it Redis connection. A little bit more succinct. Post import. I gotta like that, and I'm pretty sure you can do it. No. Inside. Try one more time. There we go. So config.redis connection, cool. So it's just putting the host. All right. What else do we need? That's for development. We'll take cluster off. If we want to use the worker IDs later, we'll use the worker IDs later. And master code, worker code, we'll keep those in there for right now. We're pretty good on that front. Create server. I don't think there's a difference between create server because before it was server.app. Pretty sure it's the same thing. Really quick, I'll just try it. Yeah, you want to what? Let's go back. We know this works. Let's just keep it the way it works. Yep, 3 players connected, 4 players connected. So yeah, it's running really well. Cool. Lovely. Excuse me. Oh. All right, let's this up near the top. There. I think I'm not gonna put workers for everyone else because it should default to the maximum that you possibly can. I might add it later. For now, this will be fine. Because now it's gonna do a bunch of them. It's gonna do 8 because I have a dual quad or duo quad core or something like that. So there's 8 threads. Actually, yeah, let me just kill this process real quick because I don't want to mess with the streaming. And let's go over what we've changed. Package. And we are going to take this off of these because I don't want them magically upgrading on us. Package lock. I will include it. It's not that big of a deal. You want to discard the package lock. Server. Let's just make sure we didn't miss anything. Database connection. We kind of rerouted. Here, let me take this out of the way so we can see things better. App use. Ooh. Get rid of this. We don't want this included. I'm gonna delete it real quick, save it, and then I'll put it back after I'm done uploading it to the. We want to do a log.info here. There we go. Master and worker. Just so you know which one's which when you're looking at the logs. Login DPT connection we put up top. a little bit of a switcheroo there, and that is down there. Let's add a couple little spaces just so you don't accidentally delete. Actually, let's just put something here that says don't delete. Cool. Config. Redis connection. Very nice. Net player. We'll even update this because yeah, this should work. Should work. Broadcast too. I'm just making sure nothing else is super weird. Yeah, I mean, it was working, so it should work. Okay, so this I have in a feature branch called sticky sessions. So we're going to do sticky session implementation. And let's bring this up. All right, so quick before I get too far. Let's make sure I'm here. I already did my commit message, so git push, and then I'm pushing it to my own private repository. I'm using a private origin. Private, no. I'm not even gonna do it here. I'll do it over here, which you cannot see, but trust me, I'm pushing it. You'll have to trust me. Whoosh. And it's pushed to private. Cool. Cool. All right. So like I said, I'm going to include kind of the development of 1.1 or 1.00 onto this. I'm trying to think if I can go through this on stream. So I want to be able to just do this, but I also want to be able to, you know, thoughtfully do this online without, how do I want to put this? I want to be able to thoughtfully do this without accidentally showing you guys something that I shouldn't show you. I think I can go through it. All right, you want to, let me make the branch on MV Online. Just make the branch. Can I make the branch on GitHub? Good question. Find or create a branch. Okay, so we are going to do a development branch. And we're going to call it development, and this is going to be 1.0.0. We'll call it, do I want to call it development or trunk? Let's call it development. Development 1.0.0. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to spend some time and put what I have in my private repository over into the development 1.0.0 branch. I'll put in the working code if anyone wants to mess with it and kind of see if it works and get it going, by all means. I'm trying to think if I want to go over anything else. Oh, hour and a half in. Wow, I am surprised. It's actually good. I, you know, have work in the morning, so it's nice when things get done quickly, but I figure I'd spend a little bit more time cleaning things up, but I also want to get, you know, I don't mind talking with you guys. You know, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about if you're still in the chat. And if not, we can kind of wrap it up pretty soon. This thing needs to be, we need to fix this. Where I'm not having to constantly go into the core setting. We need like I'm trying to think, we need some way to just, you know, easily for everybody be able to develop quickly. Because, you know, what I'm thinking is we need to be able to run a couple commands, and we can have three screens up, not three screens up and running, but we can open a browser, test quickly, because I think that's one of the major bottlenecks that I've been having personally, is just troubleshooting these issues has become hard. For me, it's been easier and easier because I know my own system, but in general, it's hard for other developers to hop on this because there's a lot of nuances, and I want to see if we can make it so that we can fastly iterate. So like, I'm looking into like Browserify, where we can, you know, look at the file system, and as the game changes, as you change your project, the browser will reload, and you can keep testing quickly. That's been a major blocker for me. Question: how would you go about making different chats like global chat, whisper chat, etc.? This is pretty straightforward and easy. Actually, this would be a really fun, if anyone wants to do a little bit of a journey, there are a bajillion tutorials with Socket.io, rooms, and how to do like whisper chats and stuff like that. Pretty much you just make individualized rooms, and then you would have to, the biggest issue would be, how do you control the chat window state? So how are you going to select between the rooms? So you can think of something like Discord and Slack, where you have multiple channels and things are coming in, and it kind of alerts you to who's coming in at you. Or you can do like multiple tabs up top or something along that lines. But the first thing you need to do is handle multiple chat windows. Okay. The second half of it, which is the logic side of it, which is a lot easier, you just create rooms based off of who's in the room or what's going on. Right now I have everything based off map. So whoever is in your map gets to talk to you. So if you want to do something like a whisper chat, you could take the socket ID of the first player, socket ID of the second player, mash them together and make a room out of it. And that way you always know which room that is because it's based off their socket ID. So there's ways to get that done. There's ways to do that. But once again, you need a way to whisper to another person, which is, once again, you need to create a button, you need to create logic flow from that. You need to be able to either accept it or decline it. You don't want to just be able to whisper all the time, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of extras on top of it, but you can make different chat. You know, there are a ton of tutorials on how to make these kind of chats, especially with Socket.io. Socket.io makes it incredibly easy because you don't have to manually, you know, put it to the database and then update it from the database. It just sends it out. You're good to go. It's as simple as broadcast and receive. So it's really simple in terms of the actual guts of it. It's more the extras that you want to put on. So like anything that you can think of in Slack or Discord. So, you know, just how to navigate the different chat windows and stuff like that. Okay, that's what's up with that. Any other questions, guys? Because I am down with any other questions that you guys have. What else do we got? Yeah, I gotta update a lot of these as well. So chat, NetPlayer. Once again, I want to keep these as simple as the whole point of this was to keep them as simple as humanly possible. So that way other developers can come along, they can create what they want to create, and it's not, the system doesn't impose too much. I didn't want to impose. If somebody wanted to come and change all the HTML that I made, have at it. If somebody wanted to come and change out anything for any reason, go for it. The whole point was to make a nice solid base for people to springboard off of. So with something like multiple chat windows, I made a basic chat window and how to use it. If you want to completely scrap it and make, you know, Discord integration, go for it. Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Can you do Discord integration? Hold on. I just thought of something. Hold on. Let's find out. What do we got here? Client. User tag. What the fuck is that? Huh? Discord API. I'm not quite sure what this does. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can just like plop a Discord thing down here. It'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if they allow you to do that. Because I'm assuming they want you to use their app more than anything. And then you probably have a limit as to how many people can have it running at the same time. Plus, they'd have to log into it. And, you know, there's a whole set of things that you'd have to do. It's probably better to just have your own chat, but it'd be a cool little thing. Plus, if they could do that, you could also deal with audio chat through them, which would be a lot easier. They already have that all ready to go. All right. Well, this was cool. This was my first time using Google Drawing. I will be using this again in the future because it was a lot of fun. If anyone knows any good whiteboarding apps, we should probably do that so I can explain concepts like this a little bit easier. I don't want to make this all a learning lesson, but like where I'm straight teaching you everything, but at the same, because I don't know where you're at in terms of ability, but I mean, I can keep it going. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents. I think it's about that time to go to bed. No more questions? All right, we're calling it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what I did good. Tell me what I did bad. I should be on next Sunday. Actually, no, won't be on next Sunday. Patriots are playing in the Super Bowl, so either Saturday or Monday night, I'll try to sneak it in. We'll figure it out. I'll make an event. I'll put it out there. With that, later, game makers.